the Think Loud Crew podcast, 3 moms getting real with our daily lives and our WTF moments.
Yes.
Today we have a very special guest.
Woo!
It's me.
It says don't bang on the table.
Does it really say don't bang on the table?
Don't bang on the table.
Yeah.
And
Anyway, Zaina is here with us today, y'all.
I'm so excited.
Welcome, Zaina.
Welcome, Zaina.
Hey.
We got Zay on the podcast. I'm juiced.
Yes, there's a lot of people who have been asking about you for a long time.
And I'm finally
So,
here.
I'm
I
excited.
survived an earthquake to be here, y'all.
Yes.
Apparently there was an earthquake while I was driving and I could have just fallen into a hole. But I made it.
You made it
I
here.
made it and I'm so happy
God
to
wanted
be here.
you to be here today.
Yes.
I think I hate you. I really think I do.
I made it.
I'm just gonna say okay.
Well, Zay,
I think that's great.
can you? What are we gonna say?
I'm not gonna say shit. You ask her.
I was just gonna ask, can you tell us about yourself and your journey of just what you do, how you got here?
She got here because she's my best friend.
Yes, and then I want to also know the backstory of your guys' how you guys became best friends.
So let's start
Start from the beginning.
where are you
Yes.
from, and then how did you guys
I'm
meet?
like, how did we become best friends?
Oh,
I
I
want to
know.
hear that story. I would love to.
Zaina said, let me tell you.
Okay, first of all, beginning. My name is Zaina. I am a Pisces. I was born in March.
I love this.
I'm from Maryland originally, and I'm first generation. Both my parents are from West Africa, Sierra Leone.
Wow.
I'm half African, half Lebanese. My mom was born and raised in Sierra Leone, so she's never been to Lebanon. And I'm one of 4. So I have 3 other siblings. I'm a middle child, so I have middle child syndrome sometimes where I just feel like I don't matter. Just kidding.
Oh,
kidding.
you
matter
I'm still stuck on Sierra Leone. Like, I didn't know that for our whole
Were you
friendship.
just shy
Wait,
now?
really?
No, I'm stuck
Hold
on the
on.
fact that, I want to go.
I want to go. I've never been.
Can we go? Can we plan a trip?
Sure. I can
Does
meet
your
my
family-
cousins.
I was going to say, yeah.
wow.
And family. I've never been, it's been on my list. My parents haven't been in a while. And I don't know, growing up, it wasn't embraced to be African. You know, growing up in school, it's they'll make fun of you, oh, you're an African booty scratcher, or just
Really?
Y'all
That's what
never
the
heard
kids
that?
would say?
Somebody told you that?
You've heard that.
I've heard that. It's changed over the years.
But
so.
why an
It's a
African
lot.
booty scratcher?
I don't know where that
have no
originated.
idea.
That's not even mean.
People are so
People
mean.
are- yeah, but I feel back then, growing up, it wasn't. You couldn't be proud of it.
Yeah.
It's cool to be African now. Not that it was never not cool, but they were you said before people used to be tease or make names, but now it's
People are just
oh
mean in general.
Yeah. What about at home?
Super
Did your
proud.
parents embrace it, or did they instill it into you guys to be proud of where you're from?
I feel my parents, they were really young when they came here. They were 19 and 23. And then I had my sister right at 19, 23, and then the rest of us. And they really tried to assimilate. So I feel for me, even now, I want to go back and I want to talk to my grandparents. I want to really understand my roots and the history and learn how to cook. I mean, I know how to cook, but
Cultural food.
cultural. I know how to do a lot of things in the air fryer. However, I don't know how to air fryer. How to make fufu and
they say
jollof rice.
Yeah, jollof
Yeah.
rice in Sierra Leone is one of the
It's
Where are
fire.
your
better
grandparents?
ones. I'm come on.
So I only have one living grandparent. It's my grandma's on my mom's side, and she's Lebanese as well. So she'll make African and Lebanese food.
Lebanese food is
dope.
bomb too.
Fire. So I need to learn how to make that too.
Okay.
You just want to
Zaina.
you want to learn the cultural background.
And I think that's
cuisine.
important. It's I
It
didn't appreciate it growing up, but now that I'm an adult and I can look back, I want to be able to pass on to my future kids one day that are going to be frozen soon. I mean, not like.
Are you gonna freeze your eggs?
Yes,
So it's gonna be frozen soon.
she
in
said that in a
Awakens.
weird way, guys.
No,
but
I think
That was a weird way
Yeah.
of saying it.
It's okay, but
they're not
that opens
currently
up.
frozen, but
They're not
they're
currently alive or will be frozen right now.
Wait, but have you started that process?
I've started researching.
Okay, I have some.
That's a big deal.
Friends. It's pricey. It's like time consuming.
I actually
It's
went
a
to
lot.
a meeting for it.
I love
did?
this.
I
You
did.
did?
Recently I met with a fertility doctor about freezing eggs
Wow.
and the process of it. And did you know that
Did you know?
if
Tell
you
me.
freeze your eggs and you donate them, you can get paid like $10,000 to $20,000.
Really?
Why didn't I do this like 10 years ago?
Yeah, there's
What?
I know
Dang.
somebody who froze their eggs and
crazy.
donated them and made a lot of money doing it.
Wow.
And it's almost like when you fill out your paper, you have to choose whether or not you want that future baby to be able to know that you were the donor or not. It's
Wow.
like giving your child
That's
up for
interesting.
adoption, but in a little incubator.
Yeah.
Tube
Like
thing.
when guys donate sperm.
Yeah,
I'm
it's the
like
same
a sperm
thing.
donor,
Yeah, it's the
egg
same
donor.
thing. I learned a
Sperm,
lot during that experience, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've had some friends who've done it, and I just feel like I'm 32 right now. I want to have kids. I feel like there's a lot of pressure, especially like once you cross like 30, where everyone's
Yes.
like, all right, when are you getting married? When are you having kids? All of that. But I just want to just do it on my own time. And I feel like for me, peace of mind will be like at least freezing a couple eggs.
Yeah.
Then
And
you
just
you'll
having
be
it as a
healthy,
backup
yeah.
plan. Still believing in like God's plan. Like maybe it could happen naturally. And
Yeah.
if so, maybe I could donate it and make like a couple bands. But
Yes.
like,
Do you want mini Zainas running around the city?
I'd be like, she just ran into a wall. That's hers.
I think I know you.
I'm gonna be looking at that kid on the street like, I know your
I
mom.
know.
I know your mom.
You know where you came from. But I just think that's so important to just, with your heritage and history
Yeah.
and trying to be able to pass it on to future generations so it doesn't just stop.
I
Yeah,
love
I
it.
like that.
I think it's beautiful that you know where your family's from too. So like where to start. With
Yeah.
us, it's like, okay, we got to go back like 16 generations, and then it's like,
Figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
now what?
Right.
And rely on some type of record.
Right.
Now what? So it's
For
I think
sure.
that's really exciting, and I would like to be here for this food journey. And
Oh, great. Look.
I need all the help.
I need all the help. I need all the sous chefs.
Do your parents cook?
Here's the thing. Oh, my grandma and my great aunt, so they're sisters, they cook for the whole family, like all the traditional meals. So she'll make a dish and then put it in to-go containers for like my mom and, dad and family, and then my uncle.
that
Like
sounds
she
like
just
that's grandma.
she
Yeah.
just like distributes.
Yeah.
So my mom
that.
claims that she can make the same dish. I just haven't tried hers yet. No shade. Maybe we could learn together, Mom.
Oh, shade.
That'd be a learning experience for you and your mom.
It could be a
Little
bonding experience. Exactly.
That's
I
hilarious.
love
Because
it.
I just haven't tried my
I
mom.
just haven't tried it yet.
Haven't tried it. But
So from Maryland, where was the next place for Zaina?
okay, so from Maryland, I went to Temple University in Philadelphia. And I don't know, I really struggled like growing up because I didn't think I had any talents or gifts because I didn't
Aw.
start. I know this is like so sad. I'm talking about middle
No,
childhood.
but it's
drama.
so crazy. You're
I'm
one
like,
of the
you don't
most
have any talents or gifts.
Zaina,
You're so talented.
You're one of the most talented people that I've ever
Right, I'm like
that
trying to
I
understand
know
where
in
this
person.
story is going.
I know. I mean, now
Okay,
I
this
know.
is how you felt.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, this is how I
Yeah.
felt growing up because in high school, like, I didn't have a chance to like start softball at 2 years old or like basketball or cheerleading. Like a lot of kids were able to do it like younger. So by the time high school came, they were like, oh, they made the cheer team,
Right.
dance team, whatever. So I tried out for the softball team and I'm like, can't be hard just hitting a ball. And I didn't make it. And I was just like so frustrated because all my friends had like their thing. So then I ended up like taking a television production class. in high school, and I was
nice.
just like, it was like my way of expressing myself
Thank God.
through like creativity and
I
like
love
coming
it.
up with like different ideas and shooting and editing, and that's what kind of like put me on a path to where I am now.
Yeah.
So from there, I was like, cool, like this is my thing.
Yeah.
I can do like videos and scripts and be creative. And so I studied film and television at Temple.
Love it.
Awesome.
I actually, I don't even know if you know this, but I won like a YouTube competition
What?
in
You
college.
told me that.
What kind of YouTube
It
competition?
was very random. So YouTube, USC, and Google, they created a program
This is
called
so cool, yeah.
YouTube Creator Institute, and I was a sophomore in college. I submitted like a self-portrait video that I did, and then people could like do public voting. So I won the contest. I was like 1 out of 10 people flown out to LA.
Wait, hold on.
dope.
Do you still have this video? Is it on YouTube?
Don't try and find it.
I'm going to try to find it.
Time out.
A self-portrait video?
You've been content creating
It was a
for
lot.
so long.
Dang,
High
where's
school.
the video?
I might show you one day.
Where is the video? If it was a YouTube contest, it has to be on YouTube, right?
YouTube,
It may be
USC,
private.
Google.
It may be private.
I'm going on a hunt for this video.
I'm about to be doing some
private.
math
It was like
later.
a 60-second like self-portrait.
What year did you
If
graduate
you
college?
won, this must have been great.
Yeah. Okay, so they flew
love
you
that.
out.
Congratulations.
That was
Like,
actually
so
my
late.
first time ever on a plane. So I've never
Wow,
been on
for
a
sophomore
plane.
year.
And I was like freaking out. And then they kept like coming by, offering me drinks. I'm like, no, thank you. And like the third time they're like, it's free. And I was like, oh.
Stop talking to me.
I'll take some water.
They flew you out.
But
Put you in,
they flew
wait,
me
they flew you
out.
out. Put you in a real seat.
I got flued out.
You got with free drinks.
And we
so
stayed
cool.
on USC's campus. Like, it was a great experience. That was my first time actually on the West Coast.
Okay.
Wow.
How long were you out
that-
here?
I was out here for like a month,
Oh,
maybe
wow.
like 5 weeks. And that was like my first taste of LA. So when I went back to Philadelphia, I was like, I need to get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
next move is LA. So my senior year, I walked in graduation, but I left 1 credit so I could do an LA study away program, kind of like study abroad, but
cool.
study LA.
Yeah.
So I did that with some of my, some other people from Temple, and got an internship at OWN. I was working in talent development at Oprah's Network. And then I was like, I'm staying. Like, I was just like, I'm not
here.
leaving. At the time, like, Remy was also making that transition. So we were like, we're going to try and make this work. We did not have a job.
And you and Remy know each other from
college.
I just
Yeah.
want to like so that they know.
Yes. So we were like, we're going to make this happen. And we found 2 other girls who also did the program. They're twins. And we moved into a 2-bedroom apartment, the 4 of us,
Wow.
and in Koreatown. And we were like, we're going to make this work. Like, odd jobs.
Yeah.
Nothing like sketchy, you know?
I don't think anybody went there.
When you say odd jobs, people are like, but we were using Craigslist for like stuff
Girl, I used to be on Craigslist too. Don't
Craigslist.
worry.
To do what?
to find
Find
gigs.
jobs.
Oh, I thought you were like saying you were on Craigslist. I was like, what
to
were
do
you
stuff.
doing? Yeah, like
No.
sorry,
Stealing?
my mind went to the gutter. I mean, you can find a girl on Craigslist, but I was
You can.
You can.
You totally can. But we
not
made
Zaina.
it where I didn't do
not
that.
Zaina.
They're
Don't
not
look
looking for jobs.
Yeah.
I did not do that. So from there, we made it work. Thank God. Ended up getting a job at this company, this production company. And from there, I just kind of moved around. So I started out at a production company. I was there for like a few years. Then I landed a role at Viacom. So I worked at MTV, VH1. That was like the bulk
Wow.
of like
Yeah.
my career, doing current series development and also celebrity talent, like casting for shows.
So for people who don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
what does
I was
that
about to
mean?
say, what is that?
Okay, so on a network, you have a series of shows. So once it's past the green light stage, so there's like a development process where like you're trying to figure out like what shows you actually want to put on the network. Once it gets greenlit, it's considered a current series. So Teen Mom is a current series.
Okay. Look at me getting a lesson. I'm like, okay.
So I was on the team that worked on the current series, so I would be assigned shows. So like one of my shows I worked on was MTV Cribs when it came back.
Cool.
So I worked on helping with like the creative, but also the casting process of it too. So I did like, I wore 2 hats.
Cool.
Martha and Snoop's potluck dinner party, that was on VH1. Like I worked on that from like beginning until like it airs. So you're in that process of like the development, the casting, the production, you're on set. When it's edit time, you're like watching the cuts all until like it airs.
You're
So
really involved.
What would be like a typical day at work if we were doing the Martha and Snoop show? Once it's been greenlit, what was like a typical day at work for you?
Oh, typical day. Okay. Let's say it's set day.
Okay.
No, let's say it's a few days leading up to set day.
Okay.
So we would get creative from the production company. Like, hey, here are the confirmed guests. Here's the creative, what they're going to cook. And as like me and my team, we would like review it and give notes. And it would be like a collaboration process. And then moving on to set day, we are in a pre-production meeting with Martha and Snoop and the rest of the team, and we're going through like what the show is and the creative and talking through like lines and stuff. And then it's shoot time, so then you're just kind of like
On set.
in whatever way I can help. Like, who needs what? You need coffee, wrangling talent. Like, okay, this person needs to go from there to there. You're just managing like everything that could happen on set in real time.
Have you
a lot
ever
of work.
been in one of these like meetings and were nervous about the talent? Like, who was the talent that you were most nervous to have to deal with?
Most nervous.
Or do you get nervous?
Like I was gonna say, do you get nervous with the
so-
talent?
Or have like anxiety about like, dang, today it's gonna be Snoop, but I would be excited to see Snoop, so he wouldn't probably make me nervous.
Yeah, so
but-
okay, this was Zay, like, I don't even know how many years ago, but like almost like 8 years ago. So starting out, I was very nervous.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm new here. Like, I don't really know. Like, I don't want to do something wrong. And there's like this stigma where, you know, if you are just kind of like an assistant or like lower, like you just kind of like blend in and don't try to make like a lot of noise or do anything.
Like,
Yeah.
just do your
Like,
job.
I am furniture.
Yeah.
And so for me, I had to find that balance of like not just being furniture, but also like being confident and
Showing,
having a voice. So for me, like, I mean, in that, I was nervous to meet like Martha and Snoop. And I'm like, talk to me, but don't talk to me, but like,
Like,
oh,
I'm not making eye contact.
I'm making eye contact, furniture.
Hi, Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
But at that time, you know, like early on, it's like, wow, I'm in a room with these people that I've like admired or seen.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, like it took a long time for me to get to a place where I could just be in the room with anyone. And it's like, okay, cool. Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you need to do. But yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It took some growth. And I would say like early on in my career, I was definitely like very self-conscious, especially just being like a woman and, you know, a Black woman at that. And sometimes you are like the only Black person in the room. And something that I learned was always speak up and give your opinion. Even if you go against what everyone else does in the room, like what your boss is saying, what another higher up person is saying, like just give your voice and your opinion. And I'll give an example. I was working on this one show at this one company, and we were going through creative, and it was a scene that they wanted to do with someone where they were going to a police academy. And they were like, oh, and then there'll be like dogs like chasing this person around. And I'm like, you put a Black woman, you put police, and you put dogs and chasing. Like, that, I'm
that's
sorry.
not okay.
That is not going to be okay. Like, and it wasn't malicious in any way.
Right.
It was just like the lack
not thought
of,
about.
it wasn't thought
You're like,
through
no.
all the way. And I remember listening in on this call, and I was just like having this internal battle. I was an assistant at the time. And I was just like, okay, I need to say something because there's
Yeah.
no way that I can be here as
Listening.
like the person who can
I like
speak
that.
for,
I love this.
you know,
Yeah.
like just
Or
Yeah.
the people
Black
of color,
women.
yeah.
People of color. And I actually talked to my boss, and he was so receptive to it. And he ended up calling the production company and was like, we have to scrap this scene. Like, it's
I love
just,
that, yeah.
And that was just, you know, a small thing that went a long way for me. And it just stuck with me to be like, okay, no matter what, just always speak up. No matter what your position is, if they're telling you to be furniture, like,
Right,
just speak up, no matter what.
That's
I
really
love that.
good.
That's
I
good.
like that story. I think I've
It's
heard
a
it
really
before,
good
but I
story.
like it.
And I feel like over the years, we've seen you work in so many different types of show, like reality versus like where it's more like set based, different types of talent. You were pretty instrumental in helping Cheyenne get her foot was already in the door, but helping bring everything together with Team Mom and Ryder and Corey in terms of here's my creative production eye. Like you shot their first
Oh my God, do you remember
pilot.
that?
I don't even know if we call it a pilot or like
Okay, this is when I was an assistant at MTV.
And this is when nobody knew that Corey was Ryder's dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no,
It was
one-
like
tell me the
fresh.
story. I don't know
Nobody
it.
we
knew.
barely knew.
We just found out also.
We just found out. So I was like, Shy,
It was like their
we
first.
should do a baby daddy reveal special on
Yeah.
MTV.
I love this. Especially because
Terrible
they were
idea.
both like
It was a bad idea.
Terrible
MTV.
idea. Terrible idea.
They were both MTV people. So everyone's always like, why is Cheyenne on Team Mom? I wanted to say,
This was the first week
this was
that
it. This
we
is how it
even
happened.
like found out about that we found out
That we
about
found
Corey.
out, and then I pulled out, and you were still like figuring it out with Corey too.
Girl, I'm still looking at him like, how did we get here?
like,
And
how did we get here?
I kept reading the paper. I'm
Yeah.
like, I guess this is correct.
Oh, when you found out
Well,
Corey was a dad?
Yes, it was the same
It was
week.
the same week.
Zaina goes, we're gonna film it. I have this idea. Let's film
why are your
it.
eyes so big?
And my dumbass
No.
was like,
Okay,
okay,
they filmed it.
We're gonna film it.
I feel like we need to clip
That
that.
is
I
hilarious.
still
No,
have
we
it.
don't.
It's so funny.
We gotta tag it in
so
somewhere.
Zaina put. We were.
it was like a sizzle.
We were
Sizzle,
at
that's the word. Not
Corey's
like-
apartment, and Zaina like put two chairs next to each other and found a blank wall, and it's like us sitting, and we're like holding Ryder in the middle.
This is our
And
child.
we're like, this is our baby.
Hello.
and they're like asking each other questions.
No,
and it's
Zaina
just-
was asking us the questions. She did like the full
I
like.
did a
was
full
an
interview.
interview.
Uncle Mitch was there crying
Yes,
the whole time.
Uncle Mitch, Corey's cousin, cried the whole time. It was so strange.
He was sobbing in the living room in fetal position.
And I was like, I kept saying, is he on something? Like, what is happening?
Is he okay? He's just like, I'm so happy.
He was happy
He's
about
like,
the baby.
she's just so beautiful. I'm sitting here like, okay, my child is never staying here by themselves.
Like, you walked out like,
What is happening?
okay, we're going to have to figure this out.
And it was the first day that I actually went to Corey's place. Remember, I was like, I'm so nervous. I don't want to bring Ryder by myself. Will you come with me?
Yeah.
Zaina went with
so
me.
This was just
It was the very
Fresh.
fresh.
It was so fresh.
And she pulls out a camera.
She's like, ready?
Hi. All right. What's the story? How did we get
Let's
here?
say that
Yeah.
But
video.
that went a long way because everyone was really interested internally.
Well, Zaina asked us, okay, can I show my boss?
Right.
And at the time, nobody knew that Ryder was Corey's. Like, it wasn't
so it
public
was really-
information. So, me and Corey were like
I got the tea.
really scared to even, not to allow Zaina to tell people, but, you know, we were scared that, okay, if she tells them, then it's going to
What's
come
gonna
out. And we
happen?
weren't ready for it to come out. It took us
A while.
a while
time.
before we announced, like months. So Zaina had the tea.
I had the tea.
She said, I got something good,
But
y'all.
I told him it
we
was
said
top secret.
we said yeah.
I was like, you can't share this. This is my best friend. This is top secret. I almost pulled out an NDA. My
Excuse me, I need to sign this NDA
Actually,
first.
I
Yes, please.
But
can't
our
leak
video,
My client.
the
No.
video got passed around Viacom.
It definitely did.
That's
And
good.
people were really interested. And then there just so happened to be an opening on Teen Mom. And they were like, boom.
Put him over here.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
like, let's stick
That's
him
a
over
cool
here.
story. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
We gotta. I have
hilarious,
the
though.
pilot or the sizzle.
The sizzle. It's
I
like
have
this
the-
white
I have
wall.
the raw footage.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, I got it all.
I got it all. It pops up sometimes in my Apple memory. I'm like,
done. Oh,
I just remember walking out that
remember.
day, walking out, and me and Zaina just kind of like stopped and looked at each other, and we were like, "What the fuck is that? Like, what just happened in there?"
So do we like put up cameras?
We were like, "What?"
It was like less of Corey, but Mitch.
It wasn't Corey. It was just the cousin that was scaring us. I was like, Ryder can never stay over here. We don't know what was that. It was. It was.
And the funny thing is, I feel like Mitch is like,
I love Mitch.
Mitch is harmless, but
He's harmless, but
he was just really
he gets
emotional that day. And I
So
was looking
sweet.
like, what is happening?
I'm sure because that's your first time
Yes, it was
at Corey's house.
strange.
I would
It
be
was
like,
very
what the
strange.
hell?
And for him, it was like, this
Yeah.
is my cousin Corey. Is like,
Well,
he
yeah.
has this
I
beautiful
get it,
little
but I
girl.
don't get
Yeah.
it.
But that,
But
I don't get
when
it.
I started doing Teen Mom, then I think Viacom also realized we're best friends.
Yeah.
So then Zaina would start to come on the show, and then at her job, they would be editing the show and would be teasing her like, "Look at you on the show."
Send me screenshots, and I'm like, oh my god,
You're like,
I'm
yes.
like melting away.
You're trying to blend back into the
the
wall.
Homer Simpson going in the bush.
She went from
I remember one
booking
time-
talent to like
Becoming.
booking and becoming talent, and
It
balancing
was such
that
a
at work has to be crazy.
Yeah, it was a weird thing because also like in the Viacom offices in New York, they would have like huge screens, like you've been there.
Yes.
And sometimes promos would pop up, and then I might be in a promo, and I'm like, oh my god, furniture! I'm like, that's not me! That's not me! It's a doppelganger! I don't know her!
That had to be
hilarious.
hilarious.
It was
funny,
so
yeah.
awkward, but you know, I don't know. I'm in a different place right now where I just feel like back then I was all about just like career and focusing on that and really like diminishing just some of my personal goals and
Yeah.
not really prioritizing like what I want to do outside of work. I think sometimes people make work their identity and that's cool like if you're an entrepreneur, but like if you work at a company, like that shouldn't be your whole personality. And I feel like at a certain point it was becoming my personality. Like I am Zaina, I work here. And I had to like move away from that and just figure out like what I want to do outside of it. Because the sad thing about it is that when you work at a company, I'm not speaking about any company in particular, but any company you work for, when there are budget cuts, you are a name and a salary. And they don't care who you are, how long you've worked there. They will just like cut you in a
No clean
heartbeat.
house.
Yeah.
So it's like really prioritizing like work-life balance, taking that PTO. Don't miss weddings. Don't miss like important things. Like that's
Still
something I
live
had
your
to like
life.
learn.
Do you think that? Do you think that you learned that? Okay, so Zay moved out here, worked at Viacom, but then moved to New York to work at Viacom. Do you think you learned this lesson before or after the move or during?
After the move. So when
Okay.
I moved to New York, I got a promotion and I was working like primarily with the talent team and also doing like the current series stuff too that I explained earlier. And I was a workhorse. Like I did not see the light of day. Like I rarely
we're just
I
focused.
like I didn't meet people. Like when people ask how it was living like in the Big Apple, I'm like, I don't know. I was just like in those walls the whole time.
Yeah, you were tunnel vision.
Like
of
I was
just
tunnel
work.
vision, and it's not because they made me. It's like I chose to do that. You know, like you have to also set like work boundaries too,
Yeah.
I think
and
you're
work-life balance.
passionate about creating. So sometimes when you are passionate about like you enjoy what you're doing, it's easy to go past those like boundaries or those limitations that you need. So I think it's good that you bring up that balance because other than that, you can get lost in your career. And I've seen so many situations where people become their career and then it's like you said, when there's budget cuts or something happens or companies reduce, they're like, who am I? What am I
Like,
doing?
what do I do now?
Yeah,
I've been here
like-
for so long,
Yeah.
and
I
then
just
it gets
career,
snatched away.
Yeah.
So when you did that move from LA to New York to go for your promotion, you were still in the phase of I'm Zaina, I work at this company.
I was
Go away.
How long did you stay in New York?
11 months and 2 days.
Not 11 months and 2 days.
I feel like there was a.
She said
we might have started a family petition to bring Zaina home.
I was coming back like once a
It
month.
was like, Zaina, come
First off,
home.
we had like a going away for Zaina, and then I swear I saw her within the next 3 weeks, and I'm like, bitch.
Yes.
And
I
then
came back for Ryder's birthday.
you came back for any.
I came back for
excuse
everything.
You were on
do
a
you
plane
feel like
back.
you came back because you were trying to find like you regretted moving, or was it just like you needed that balance of like you needed your friends and family?
I needed that balance for sure because it was a big move, and although I did a similar move from the East Coast to LA, I was able to like build a family and a community back to New York. I was just like, who are these people? I don't have a car. I have to take the subway.
So you just
Why you What's going on?
Was it around pandemic time?
Yeah, so that's
So
why.
it was also like.
And you know what? The power of manifestation is so important because I kept telling my roommate at the time who also worked with me, I was like, I don't care. I'm moving back to LA by my 30th birthday. I don't know how. I don't know when it was going to happen. But, you know, the pandemic ended up happening and we were working remotely. And I was like, I'm moving back to LA.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, girl.
I celebrated my 30th birthday in LA. I was like, I feel back at home.
Yeah.
I remember when you got the promotion and you had to be in New York for the promotion. But then once COVID, you were able to come back, right?
Yeah, well, only because we were working remotely and it ended up just being like, a lot of people move. People move to Atlanta, they move to like Texas. Like New York is expensive. So it's like, you're paying like, I think this was my whole apartment right here, maybe.
You said this is it, right?
This was where my bed was. I'm kidding.
Kitchen
Y'all are in
was over
my
there.
living room. But no, it's expensive. So I think there was like a lot of flexibility, especially not knowing when the offices would reopen.
Yeah.
Fast forward, it took like, 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it took time.
And then at that time, I ended up getting another job moving to a digital company. And it just worked out. It was a fully remote job. And I was like,
Is
great.
digital versus television, two different ballparks. Like
Very different. Yes.
What made you even want to go digital?
So I feel like with me, sometimes when you're at a company for a long time, you hit like a glass ceiling and it takes a long time for you to just like get promoted and move up. And also with television, it moves very slowly. Like you can pitch an idea and it won't be on television for like 3 years or 4 years.
True.
So it takes a
You're just
long
waiting.
time. And I was just like, I got this opportunity at this digital company to be their head of like talent and development, but then also like help with like the creative stuff. And it was like 2 promotions above where I was. And I was like, okay, this is an opportunity for me to just grow. Like being thrown into the deep end.
They recruited you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
reached
keep doing
out.
your work. Like that's one thing about you, Zaina. You've always, even though you're like career life balance, but like you're the most career oriented, I would say, person I know around our age outside of like an entrepreneurial lifestyle. That has really had like a solid career.
You're
would
our
say.
only friend with a real job. No.
I think about that sometimes,
Only friend that has a job.
That 9 to 5 life.
like, no, but it's you're doing it and you're elevating and you're growing. So I'm sorry to go back to you.
No, I appreciate that. And I think it's important to, have that balance. Like not make it like your whole identity, but also pull things out of it, network, meet people, figure out how to channel the things that you're learning into your personal brand and personal businesses and getting that off the ground. So that's where I'm at now, where I'm like, okay, I've paid my dues. I know I'm young, but I've paid the dues. And now I'm trying to pour more into like what I actually want to do in my passion and my projects and having that work-life balance, not just be work and fun, but work and productive in personal life.
Yeah.
So what is that now? Like, what does that look like for you?
So I love creating. Y'all know this about me.
Yes.
Like Photoshop, games.
Photoshop
Like I just
queen.
love having fun with like
Yes.
editing and being creative and stepping outside of my comfort zone. Like something also like growing up, I feel like I grew up in a very strict household, so I wasn't able to do a lot. And I think it also kind of restricted like my personality too, where I just felt like I had to like assimilate and just be like a fly on the wall. And so with that, I constantly challenge myself to step outside of the limitations that I put in my brain of like what I can't do and try something new. So whether it's like getting into like fitness or just trying like new restaurants or new, I avid Amazon shopper. Like us all.
No, I'm joking.
But I literally like try so many different things.
You guys
off
should
of Amazon.
actually
On
watch
Amazon.
her unbox. She does unboxing on Snapchat.
Yes.
And I sit there and crack up, okay? She's like, where does this go? And I think this goes here.
I get into a fight with the box.
You tried to unbox something, and then you got it all out, and then you were like, I could do it without the instructions.
Stop it.
I hate reading
What is,
instructions.
what is the most recent thing that you've unboxed?
I think the most recent thing, that thing was like a paper towel
It was a
holder.
paper towel
Which
holder.
you think would be
No, it
intuitive.
was complex. It was a complex paper towel holder.
So you recently moved.
Oh, yeah, I moved.
So this
Yeah.
is where all this unboxing stuff is. So seriously, follow Zaina on Snapchat.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's great.
Zach and I sit there and crack up, and he's like, it's a fucking paper towel holder. She can't do that. I'm like, she need to read the damn
I
instructions.
said I am going to follow my intuition.
Yes.
I don't need directions.
I don't need directions. I got this.
Then I was like, oh, shit, where is it? Because I can't find
And it
where
was the
this
paper
goes.
tall holder. It was
That is
really
funny.
fun to
Yeah,
watch.
but I'm just trying to have more fun and do more things like in that. Like fitness has been like a really big part of my life within the past like 2 years.
You
And I'm
inspire
not
me. Every time you post, when you're always on my feet, I'm like, yes. Yes, Zaina. I'm like,
Aw.
get it, girl.
But that was like, I don't know. It's like, it became fun. Like, I think
Yeah.
sometimes people see fitness as like a chore or like limiting. Like, okay, I can only eat air today. And it's like, no, like, actually, you should be
work
eating
out.
food.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
That's not how that works.
There's like a lot of like misconceptions about like being healthy and, fitness and giving yourself. I said this the other day on Snapchat, but I was just like, hold yourself accountable, but give yourself grace at the same time.
Yes.
Because if you don't hold yourself accountable, you won't reach your goals. But if you don't give yourself grace, you'll stress yourself out and then you'll get gray hairs
That's so
early.
real.
But I do think that's super important when it comes to anything in life, but particularly in fitness. It's a lot of pressure because you look at yourself every day, like, like the areas you want to work on, but it's like just take like small strides and be consistent.
Would
Your
you call
dedication is
yourself a fitness influencer?
I don't know. Like
Yes. I'm going to answer for you.
Well, let her answer first.
As someone who's being influenced by your
I
fitness
just feel
videos.
like I'm very vocal about telling people like I am not a certified trainer. So like
You just do it for yourself. It's just like
For
a
yourself.
internal.
Do you
happiness.
Do you think that you're falling into the category of fitness
I think so
influencer?
because people have been asking me questions and I'm like, you asking me?
It's
And wanting me to train them and I'm like, I don't know if I could train you, but you could work out with me.
Yeah.
You can see what I do, yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
like the consistency because you've been really consistent. Like, you're dedicated to it and it's motivating. So for me, I've been trying to get back into my workouts. The other day, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get on Zaina's schedule. And you're like, I work out here in this city, or this city. Like,
Yeah. Or sometimes my apartment.
sometimes here. And I was like, oh, we've got options. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting to a place now where I'm like trying to get my schedule back situated when the kids are in school. And I'm like, I'm going to be at the gym with Zaina. Like, that is a goal of mine to come pull up on a workout where I'm like, I just want to be around other people who are like,
Inspired.
And I think that's
Yeah.
important, like surrounding yourself with like people that are like-minded with the same goals
Yeah.
because then you won't be tempted by doing certain things.
yeah.
Like,
And I'm scared to go to the gym. Like, public gyms,
That's-
it's so overwhelming.
And then
And
you
I
have like
see
creeps
you.
like pull up like you
Your
want me
gym
to
looks
show you
cool.
how
Your
to
gym looks so cool.
The
that.
lights
Maybe it's
are
the
fun.
lights.
It's the
Oh,
lights. Every
yeah.
time you post the aftermath, I'm like, yes.
Come.
Where's the pink light?
Yeah.
You
feedback?
do warm-ups.
They have,
I'm like, go
yeah, they
for
have a
it.
really cool aesthetic at that gym.
That's downtown.
hmm
Oh, okay.
Well, they have
Very
it
cute.
downtown Santa Monica and West Hollywood.
So
okay.
you could go to all three.
hmm
Oh, okay.
If you
Yeah.
have a pass for that.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
guest
cool.
passes. Y'all can come.
You can come with me.
Girl, I need to go walk and ride a bike, hike a mile before I come with you. I'm not about to embarrass myself.
No, but that's the thing. Like
I need to work out before the workout.
But everyone there like, yes, there are people who are like hardcore. They've been doing this for years and they know what they're doing. Then you have people who are doing like, I don't even know, a cartwheel. Like, there's just so many, like,
a cartwheel.
I don't know. Like, there's
something for everyone.
There's something for everyone. But I think that was another thing. I was very intimidated by the gym. Started dating someone who, like, got me more comfortable with being in the gym and taught me a lot. And then I'm just like, okay. I also consume a lot of fitness videos.
Oh,
You watch it a lot.
I
You watch
watch
them.
it a lot. I record myself, not only just to post it sometimes, but to watch my form. Like, what am I doing? Like, how can I
like
tweak
that.
it?
How can you progress?
Yeah,
in
so I
the
think it's just
fitness?
like another thing, doing fitness classes
Okay.
will get you like to understand like the fundamentals of like working out. There's an instructor that can correct your form.
Right.
That's how I initially got into it.
Is doing classes.
Doing classes. Yeah.
That's smart.
So
That's
and
very
it's easy and it's a
smart.
group class. Everyone's in it together. You don't feel like the spotlight is on you if you pull up to a machine and don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just walk
Because,
away.
but then after that,
sitting
you
there
can
looking at
go
the
to the machines
instructions.
afterwards.
Mhm.
I like that. I didn't think about like doing classes first and then going out to the wilderness.
Yeah.
Going
Out to the wilderness.
That's what it feels like.
Going out to the
gym.
wild, like
The jungle.
The jungle of the gym.
I've done that in the past. Like, if I had a trainer and there were like certain areas or certain machines I wanted to learn, I'd be like, you can do what you're gonna do, but like, I want to know how to do this, that, and that. Like,
Yeah.
help me.
Yeah, it goes a long way.
It does.
But it's all about just starting small and like being patient with yourself, not comparing yourself to other people like you'll
Yeah.
see on Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat.
Which is so hard to do sometimes.
It's so hard.
It's all
but
in your
also
face.
like take progress photos. Like even if it's just for yourself.
Yeah, you told me that when I did my
Yes.
like that really intense diet I did. You like take pictures and then you can wear the same thing and then take pictures at the end
see
and you
how-
can see
You'll
the
see.
difference. And woo,
Like doing it throughout.
my underwear fit way different.
Yeah,
in the
I got a
last
swimsuit
picture.
right now
See.
that's baggy, and I'm like, ooh, I need these gains back. Like, we need to,
Not a
eat.
baggy
I
swimsuit.
was
Zay.
like, this is embarrassing.
Give it to me, it'll be too tight.
But I think that
That's so
also for
funny.
yourself, like just to see like the small like progress that you're making, it just goes a long way.
You have to
I
take
love
note.
that.
I
I
really
think that's
do.
Yeah.
important. That's an important like little gem to take away in terms of like when you are on these journeys, whether it's a photo, a note, like a voice note, a journal entry, like you have to, keep track of your progress.
How do you keep yourself motivated? Like on the days where you're like, I don't want to work out, I don't want to do anything, I don't want to tap into my job.
Don't want to
Man.
be creative.
I honestly, it's like a balance because some of those days I'm like, all right, today's a rest day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you also have to listen to your body,
Yeah.
and your mental health too. Like you have to listen to that. And if today is a rest day, if you feel too sore, you're not in it, you may only give like 5% anyway and feel worse.
Yeah, you're like,
I mean, it
That's
is
true.
good
There's
to
no
still
point.
like put something out there, but I would just say like listen to your body and yourself. But the days where I'm like, okay, like I need to definitely go because I had a few rest days.
Yeah.
It's just like a mental thing where it's like, I don't know. For me, it's like, all right. I look in the mirror and I'm like, all right, here are the areas that I still want to work on. In order to work on it, I need to take my ass to the gym.
Yeah.
So let's go.
And then how do you stay motivated within your career?
That's a great question. I would say within my career, I think it's also important to network with other people. Like same thing with like, aligning people with similar like fitness goals or health goals, the same thing with careers. So if you're in a room with people and they're doing their thing and they're pushing forward, like you get inspired
Yeah.
Yeah.
by other people. It's like very motivating. It's not like competition, but it's like inspiration.
Yeah.
I like that. Do you have any goals or things that you would like to expand on within your digital, television, production, career visions?
I would say, I don't know, I have like a very unique goal right now,
Let's hear
Would
it.
you like to share?
I know this
share.
Now you're making me nervous.
Right.
I'm excited
A
to
unique
hear.
one.
It
I
doesn't
like
have
it.
anything to do. Well, I want to just like make more content because it's just fun to me.
Yeah.
And I want to start being consistent with that, and not getting consumed with other work or responsibilities, like having like that clear distinction between the two. But I weirdly want to get into the tech space.
That's not weird.
Tech?
Okay,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
It's very like random for me, but like I've been sitting on like this app idea for a long time.
Oh, wait, I'm like,
Okay.
in what way
dope.
of the tech world?
Yeah, and I just want to explore that. Like similar how I made a jump from like traditional television to digital.
digital.
And I'm like, what
What
if
can I do? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a foreign land. Like I don't know the zip code to that land.
Oh, Zaina, from the convention
I don't even know what it
center.
means over there.
Not
They
into
do
foreign lands.
Have tech shows or like tech-oriented shows and all like Black and Tech, and that is a world that I am now like playing in.
Ooh, I'll play with
or
you.
like trying to like get further into. Just developing an app right now.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
let's go cook
See
some
what-
food and go do some techies.
Yes.
techie stuff.
Some
I
tech
need to learn.
networking.
I don't know anything about that space at all. I'm like, where do I start? What do I
It's
do?
different, but it's so unlimited in like so many ways. And it's like once you start learning, it's like, wait a minute. Like with you having like a production, like talent management, like just seeing how all that works, I feel like if you were to take that and marry it like with a tech, some kind of app, something that maybe like your own networks or something, I could
can't
really
wait to ask you your idea when we're done shooting
off
this.
camera.
I cannot wait
I
to
know.
ask what the app
idea.
idea is.
It's in the gifting space.
Ooh.
That didn't help me at all.
Okay. I'm
I know. Zaina, I'm excited.
That didn't help me at all, Zay.
Zaina
Yeah.
is super supportive and always gives the best gifts to everyone. Customized Zay. That's
I
what
do when I have enough time.
I'm like.
Now
I'm
now
excited,
my mind is
so
like
I'm like-
going
Me
crazy. I'm like,
Can we help?
you should. I wish you were inside my head because.
So we can like
You don't want to be
so we
first?
can each other.
Yeah, because I want to
Okay,
know.
wait, just stare at me.
Okay. It's not working.
Wait,
Look at my eyes.
we skipped this part, but do you guys want to tell us how you became friends?
Zaina can tell because everybody knows after I had kids, my memory is shot.
Oh yeah, you had mom brain.
Yeah,
You had mom brain.
I have fog. The
So you
fog
became
is clouded.
Okay, wait. Okay, here's the
Do
thing.
you have mom brain? Just kidding.
I think I have auntie brain.
Yeah.
Actually,
It
Oh,
rubbed
Auntie
off on
Fonse.
her.
it rubs off.
Didn't we meet in my mom's kitchen?
Yes,
Who introduced you
But-
guys?
a mutual friend.
Okay.
It's actually not that like crazy of a story, but I feel like that's how most people meet you in your mom's kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kitchen has seen a lot of.
A lot of people.
A lot
Yeah.
of people.
Starting
So
points.
backstory: my growing up at my parents' house, like my mom and dad's house in Pasadena, they always had like an open door policy. So anybody and everybody can come. And it was just like a thing. I feel like when my parents separated and my mom remarried, I don't know if Dave's house was ready for what
No.
we were bringing.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
Probably not.
We went from like the kickback
Lots of
house
chaos.
to like
literally.
we're gonna make your house
The kickback
the
house.
kickback house.
So when we got to Dave's house,
Our
we
sorority
came
house.
with like not an entourage, but that's just how we were always like, oh, you meet somebody, oh, you want to come over, you want to come hang out at our house, like we were always that house.
And you had a pool.
And we had a pool,
And she had a pool.
and we didn't have a pool at
and we cooked.
at the house that we
And there
grew
was
up at.
food, y'all, and the food was good.
Yes.
People
So
come and never
there's
want to
so
leave.
many people who will be like, I met you at your mom's house, and I'm like,
How?
for real?
Really?
Who brought you there? But I swear that's how we
sent
met.
you?
I think that's how we met officially.
I used to have a lot of kickbacks and parties, and then when Cheyenne got older, it just continued.
It just kept going.
and then yeah,
Yeah.
And then we just started hanging out.
We met through a
With
mutual
Remy.
friend. I met Zaina and Remy through a friend.
Did you
and
guys
then-
meet at a different time? Or were you and
So
Remy
Remy,
at this?
and I, when we
at the
moved
same
to
time?
LA, we were roommates for like years until I moved to New York.
Okay.
So we were a package deal.
Yeah.
So if you were gonna be my friend, you also
I
had
had
to
to
be
be
my
Remy's
girlfriend.
friend. I had to be Remy's friend
but
too.
when I tell you,
But I
it was
would
the
say-
greatest package deal.
Zaina and I clicked before Remy and I clicked.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was not.
Yeah. They had fights, and I was just there like.
I clicked with Zaina really easy. Remy and I, it was like we needed some oil to like rub to get us to
And then it ended up to be beautiful.
Yeah, it ended up to be really good. And then the person who introduced us, I ended up not becoming, like, our friendship ended, and then I was like, I'm still friends with them.
You're like, these are my sisters.
I'm taking them with me. So it just all kind of fell into place,
I like that.
and we've been friends ever since.
Done holidays, birthdays,
Yes.
vacations.
Vacations. The one thing I appreciate about your family is that open door policy, it resonates a lot for transplants. So Remy and I, not from here,
Yeah.
from the East Coast, so there would be some holidays where we couldn't afford to fly back east, and you all would just like open up your doors, and your family became our family. And
Aww.
See, when y'all aren't there now, it's like, well, where do they go?
Yeah.
Where
are
are
they?
they?
You're going home.
Like, they do have,
And like now,
parents
you know,
and siblings.
they have other
like-
people, guys, and my parents are like, but they're not here. They're not coming.
like,
Like,
not
coming.
It's like it's definitely become a thing. So with it being like the new year and New Year resolutions and new goals, we've talked a lot about our own like personal goals, our goals that we have like for the podcast, our goals that we have within like social life, stuff like that. Are you going into this new year with like your list of goals, or are you like, you know how there's some people who would be like, new year, new me, or are you the person who's like, new year, same me? Like which category do you fall in?
I fall into the category of new year, rolling over some goals from last year, but also establishing some new goals for this year.
Okay.
I like
I feel
that.
like giving room for both, where it's like I'm not going to sit here and reinvent myself and set unrealistic expectations. But, it comes with that whole thing of balance of like holding yourself accountable, giving yourself grace. So with that, there's some goals like with fitness that I want to do, like with content creation and just being like more creative outside of work.
Yeah.
This like app idea that I told you like by looking through your eyes.
I
you
got
know?
it. I got it. Uh-huh.
But there's things like that where I'm just like, and then I also weirdly structure my goals where it's like, just like with faith, family, friends, passion projects, career. Like I try to make sure it's like super well rounded and not just not overlook an area. Like one of my things as well that I want to do more of, and I've talked to you about this before, is like having special like auntie time with the kids, because I just feel like sometimes you get like so caught up with life, and last year I was just so caught up with a lot of stuff going on where it's like I miss hanging out with my little friends.
Yeah.
And Ryder thinks that Auntie Funze is her friend. So now when Zaina does come over, Ryder's like, "Oh, my friend is here, Mom. We gotta go play." And I'm like, actually, my friend is here, and she came out to hang out with me. But then Ryder will be like, no, my friend is here. We'll sit there and argue over who gets to play
my
with
friend.
Zaina.
And then I end up playing
She
dolls.
ends up playing. Ryder wins every time.
Ryder pulls out special toys for
I'm
Zaina,
done.
and Zaina will be sitting there like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
see
like,
her
wait, who
running
am I
back
again?
and
What's my
forth.
name? She's like, oh, you don't remember?
All
No.
of
Like,
my
no,
photographs.
We have to special like hour time away from the kids, because once Rye's in the room, she's like, "Oh, my friends are here. My friend is here. Come on, come
I
on."
love the babies.
No, I get that.
Boz and Parker and Zaire.
Boz recently let us know that his celebrity crushes Zaina.
Damn, I thought it would be me. No,
God damn, I thought it would be
I
me.
was like, what?
How did we get
Boy,
here?
what does a celebrity even mean? He was like, Zaina.
Zaina's the celebrity.
I love that.
He told me that Christmas Eve. I was like, you're not allowed to say that. You can't. No.
You don't have a crush on me.
You can't.
I'm done.
that is hilarious.
he said it when we were in Orlando, and then he said it,
Oh, he's being consistent with
oh
this.
no.
He told
I
you.
just want you to know.
And Ryder
Boz-
told me.
Boss. Auntie Zaina, thank you. You've
That's funny.
I love the
you're
kids.
influencing all of everybody. Like,
But just like carving out time, like even, my family and going out there a little bit more, spending time with my nephew who's like about to be 4.
So big
Just
now.
like,
It's crazy.
little stuff
Family
like that
time.
too, outside of just like career or just personal.
Yeah. I think that's really good. Like, you're giving good advice without even realizing that you're giving advice of balancing fully everything. I think, a lot of people are like, oh, balance work and then family, but it's like you're speaking work, family, faith, content, passion projects, ideas. Like, that's a well-rounded for, your world. And it's really good advice for other people who do have corporate jobs, but also want to work their passion projects and also want to, we did this thing where you can record in and like record what your intentions are, and a lot of people said like, I intend to get like back in with God or stronger in my faith. So I think what you're talking about is going to resonate really well with everybody who's listening, to see that it can happen.
Yeah. And I think another thing that I've learned is that sometimes I'll set like really big ambitious goals, which is great, but like once you like set out those goals, like figure out like the small steps that go under it.
Yeah.
So with me like reconnecting with like faith, I was like, okay, I can't commit to reading the Bible like every single day. Like it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But what I can do is start a Bible plan, and they have a feature where it talks to you. You could just hit play.
Yes.
And in the morning,
They do have a feature.
You said
in the
What app is
morning.
this?
might not be able to read, but I can listen.
Yes, but in the morning, because I want to be able to separate, like not just grabbing my phone, looking at Instagram or social media, but then I'll try my best to just open up the Bible app, do the little short plan that takes like 3 minutes, and then I just feel like my day is like better. And that's like a small
different
way to
set,
do it than like, setting unrealistic stuff that just won't happen.
I like that. Setting goals that are realistic to you and like your lifestyle is a big thing. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I can do that.
That first
And it's
step
3
is
minutes in the
such a
morning,
big
'cause, like-
deal. Oh, sorry.
No. I was just saying because you're right. Because usually sometimes when you wake up, those 3 minutes, you're on Instagram or whatever you're doing, those 3 minutes can go to just like, let me just look at my Bible plan. I like that, Zaina.
And hit
because
play. It can talk to you.
Hit play.
Yeah.
While you're
Sometimes-
getting ready or whatever you need
Yeah.
to do. I like that.
And that's
You're
a
just
good way
listening
to
to the
start your
world.
day.
The word.
The word, girl. The word.
The world.
Zay, I'm really happy that you came on and that people got to know you more. I want to have you back because I know after this, then everyone's going to have a million questions. That's why Remy's had to come back like 3 times because every time people are like, okay, but now we want to know about this.
Yeah.
So it's like always cool the first time someone comes on because they get to hear bits and pieces, and then we see what the listeners gravitate to, and then we can like dive deeper into a topic where I feel like it's going to happen with you. I feel like people are going to want to know more about you growing up in a strict household and being first generation, and that alone is like its own podcast.
Yes.
Like that alone is by
Yes.
itself. Or people are gonna want to know more about fitness, or
creative
more about the
side.
creative side. Or I know people are gonna ask a million questions about what this app is that you're not about to tell them.
Right.
But-
and going to the tech
Just
world.
look in my
Yeah.
eyes.
We might have a.
Look in my eyes. I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
We might just have one of those like, what are those loading pages with your sign up? Just waiting for Zaina.
I'm
waiting.
I'm so interested to see what it is that people gravitate to you towards,
Yeah,
and
I'm
ask more
excited.
questions.
Me
for.
too.
I'm excited.
You're making me nervous.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
The questions.
Zaina's fun.
I love
Zaina's
it.
fun.
So the way that we end our podcast every week, I probably should have told you this, but you can either share a WTF from your week
Okay.
about anything in the whole wide world,
Entertaining.
or you can share advice about anything in the whole wide world. You don't have to go
The
first.
whole wide world.
Shannon, you go first.
Why you choose me?
Because last episode you said you had numerous WTFs and you only shared one.
Wait, sorry. The WTF is something that happened recently?
No.
It could be anything.
Oh.
But like within the last few weeks. Don't
Okay.
give us a WTF from when you were 5.
Actually, I'm
strict
We try to do like week ofs, but we're on an odd day right now, so whatever you like. Did you not remember last episode?
I do. Okay.
All right.
So my other WTF, I guess it's another drunk story, but I just thought it was really cute. I don't know if it's a WTF or me telling a fucking story. Who
Tell
knows?
that story, girl.
Anyways, I went to my cousin's holiday party that she has every year, and her kids, I'm not like being the older cousin just became different because now they can all drink and they have girlfriends, and I love their girlfriends, and I'm all excited. So this year they were really excited that I didn't have a kid, so their plan was to get me fucked up. So, and they took me out to a bar, and I felt so old, you guys.
How old are they?
They're in their 23, 24.
Okay.
So I just felt really aged.
Like, what were they talking about? I'm like, what are you talking about at 23?
I don't know, nothing. It was really cute
funny.
because his girlfriend, my cousin's girlfriend, follows me like on Instagram, is really inspired by like my work and stuff.
Yeah.
So she was like just telling me how she was bragging about me to her family. And I was just like so cute. I'm like, I love you, Delaney, I love you. Anyways, and she just bragged. She was like, I love your podcast and all these things. But it was just so weird. I went to Barney's Beanery and it was the most, it was so odd. It was just the oddest thing to me.
What is that?
Oh,
Is that
Barney's
a bar?
Beanery,
Yes.
Barney's Beanery on Colorado and Pasadena. And
It's like a sports bar, but they
Yes.
also have like games.
levels. They have levels
they're
to this
levels.
shit. I was like, what the hell?
I've never been there.
Were you on multiple levels? Like, where were you guys?
I don't know. It was just interesting. And my little cousins were just so excited to see me outside and just making fun of me. And
Did you
Glad
have
that you
fun?
were out.
I had so much fun. I had the time of my life. It was just so cute to just like see them so proud to have like their older cousin with them.
I love
And it
that.
was just the funnest shit that I went through.
I like that.
It was really fun.
You can also just share a story.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
like I just did.
Shannon did.
It was a WTF too, because I was like, what
the fuck am I doing
how
here?
did we
why
get
the
here?
fuck am I here? Because I'm old.
Life is different.
Kyle, do you have one? I'm still thinking about mine.
I am too.
So the other day,
Zaina's confused.
as in like 2 days ago, took my weave out.
Girl.
And then as soon, because I was planning to get it redone, but I should have made my appointment before I took it out. But I had this vision in my mind where I was like, oh, I'm going to take my hair out. I'm going to give myself like a hot oil treatment. I'm going to steam my shit. I'm going to do all these things, and then I'm going to finger curl it. When I tell you, I curled like 2 rows and run in the back, and I looked in the mirror and I said, I made a mistake.
Why?
Just kidding.
Because, like, I love my natural hair, but doing it right now at this length is, like, it's so thick in here, and it's, like,
good.
it's healthy. Oh, I'm so happy.
It
and
grew
I
a
look
lot.
good.
it's
good.
really growing, like, and I don't want to put any heat on
Kyle's
it.
like, watch
Shrink it,
this.
bitch.
Yes.
I'm just jacking myself. I'm gonna look all crazy. I don't want to put any heat on it. I didn't want to color it. And in that moment, I was like, do I blow dry and braid it? I was literally in the mirror for like
Oh my
20
God.
minutes. And all I did was do these 2 rows, and then I threw a scarf on, and I went and watched a movie. And then the next morning, I took my scarf off, and I was like,
You're like, what is happening?
I text Jasmine so fast, and I text my braider. I was like, whoever has the soonest availability.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
That's funny.
It actually worked out because Jasmine needs hair models on Sunday, so I'm getting my hair done
Yes.
in 2 days.
When is
Get
that?
it, girl.
I'd love to get a look on you.
Shine, you trying to get in on Sunday?
Hell yeah, you guys should see what's happening under this hat.
Yeah, I can't even wear a hat right now.
Oh.
Wait,
So-
why?
Is it too
I have
thick?
a fro.
Oh.
I have like a
No,
legit.
it looks
They
really
have fro
cute.
hats. Did you know that?
Why was I
visor?
thinking about that just now?
What do you
I'm like,
mean, Zay?
Yeah.
and it's not a
Were they-
visor.
Yeah, where
But
like
it's cut out.
yeah.
A visor.
No, I think there's hair attached to it.
No.
Oh.
There's no hair attached. But it's basically
I know what you're talking
like,
about.
Imagine a visor,
Uh-huh.
but not a visor. And
I
then it
feel
has like,
the back
it
out.
leaves like your hair out.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
Okay, it
so
might
it's
not
a
look good.
visor with a cap front.
A cap front.
That sounds terrible.
I would rather wear this fro hat that Cheyenne
I
is
purchased one
picturing.
before.
The hat that
With a fro?
with the hair that's down here. You never seen those videos at the airport where the TSA is like, you gotta take your hat off, and then the girl's like, come on, bro, like, do I really gotta take the hat off? And then he's like, take the hat off, and the whole hat and the whole wig goes with it.
I have a moment like that, and this is from like 8 years ago.
Oh, I thought you were about to tell us.
I know. I was waiting.
Okay, I was going to this boy's house.
Like, okay.
I had to do my hair real quick, but I was like, okay, I'm just stopping by. And he was like, I know your ass did not go get a weave. And I was like, ducking him. And he tried to do the hat pop off. But it was like, I didn't really do my hair. I just had like...
You had a piece on?
I had clip-ins that I just kind of like...
You clipped to fit with the hat.
To fit with the hat.
You were a catfish. You were catfishing that day.
No, he knew what I looked like.
Sometimes they have hats with braids.
A catfish.
They do.
Just don't go on a roller coaster with that.
I'm dying.
You've seen those videos, or like diving into an ocean. Like, why would you do that?
And then the hair is
Why'd you
left
do that?
up.
Why did you go?
You've got to take your hair with you.
Yeah.
Dang, I have a hair story because you've been talking about your hair, but it's your hair story.
Tell it.
But I don't know if I can. It's my WTF, but I don't know if I can tell the story.
Is it my edges?
No.
What was it?
Okay, I'm gonna tell the story anyway.
I'm curious. I'm scared now.
On Christmas Eve, my friend was like,
Why
okay,
am I
so
laughing?
on Christmas Eve,
Oh.
we live on the same street as one of my friends. My friend was like, I want you to come over to my house. I have this guy here I want to introduce to your sister. I think that they would hit it off. I'm like playing matchmaker. I'm like, all right, okay, we're going to come. But it took us forever to go because we were doing Christmas Eve at our house.
And the kids.
So it was just a lot happening. So it was like at the end of the night, I was like, fuck it, we're going. Mom, watch all the kids. We're walking to my friend's house, and Kyle's going to meet this guy, right? And this is when Kyle had the bang weave.
Yeah.
So first, like, 10 minutes, they were both awkward as hell because they both knew that
It was a match.
It was a setup.
We were both
It was a setup. You guys were both
shy.
awkward, like, peeking at each other.
And we kept looking.
And we had
like,
looking, trying to figure it out. By the end of the night, they actually ended up, like, talking, hitting it off, whatever. We're not going to go into that story. But, like, it was a good night. It was a good meetup for...
It was good matchmaking.
It was a nice random Christmas Eve.
It was a nice matchmaking. You know how, like, sometimes you can walk in that situation and be like
that
oh,
was
my
it.
God, how did we get here?
Oh, yeah, it
and,
was
like,
cool.
I want to run back. It wasn't like that. It was really cool. So... Zach and I were laying in the bed, and all of a sudden, Zach goes, you think he knows that that's not her hair? And I was like, not even thinking about Kyle at the time. I'm like, what are you talking about, baby? He goes, and he's like whispering it as if the man was in our house and that he could hear it, and he's nowhere near our house at all. He's at his own house, and he's like whispering. He's like, Shy, do you think that he knows that if she takes that off, there's
What you gonna
short
look like?
hair? And then he goes, he's like, did she catfish that man? And I'm like, Zach, why are you whispering? Nobody can hear us.
This is the funniest thing I've heard.
So
worried about the
I
man.
was like, babe, I'm pretty sure, like, if he looks on her Instagram,
Right,
which
see.
is the first thing I feel like a lot of us do,
Yeah.
go and
I
check out the
normally
gram.
don't give people my Instagram. He asked me for my Instagram and looked at it in front of me.
And so he knows that
So
she
he
has
knows
short hair.
Your natural
But
hair.
Zach was
short
like,
hair.
what if he
He was
finds out? Like, he was so worried.
That
Like,
is
what if he
so
finds out and all this
funny.
stuff? But tell me why when I went to get my hair done, because my friend...
Yes.
Okay, everybody. First off, you guys all know Jasmine. She came on to the podcast. This is who we played matchmaker with. Me
yeah,
and her
when I got
played
my
matchmaker.
hair done, I was like, girl, you got some friends.
So listen, when I went back to get my hair done, Jasmine said that her and her friend, her guy friend, did the same shit as me and Zach. She said that they were laying there like, dang, you think he knows? He knows it.
But you know what?
She got short hair. And I was like, Jazz, he knows. Because by this point, I had asked Kyle, and she's like, no, he went through my Instagram. He knows.
And I
But
also
we were
told
all
him.
cracking up.
You told him that night.
Because I loved having my weave, but I was very like self-conscious
Yeah.
about having a weave. Like,
So
I wasn't trying to push it like it was my
Stop.
hair. I don't know, but at one point I think I might have been like,
This ain't my hair.
You know this isn't mine, right?
It ain't me.
I think
I know, babe.
we
I paid
were
for
just
it, though.
talking, literally. We were talking, and he knows I went and got my hair done from Jasmine. Like, he was like,
that doesn't mean you got a fool.
He was like, so how did they get you here? Like, what did they tell you coming in? So we had this whole moment of like, how did we get here?
Okay.
And I was like, well, I got my first weave in like a long time. So I was like, but I was like, I don't normally look like this, but I'm having a lot of fun. I was like,
it's great
I'm
that you're beautiful with or without. Like any hairstyle you do,
you're gorgeous.
Because yesterday I felt like a real little chicken head.
No.
And
chicken head.
I just know what it is. I'm not accustomed to wearing my natural hair like this, so it's just something that I'm not. It's still different, and like I have to get used to looking at myself with it. And it was like
that's how I feel when I don't have on lashes. I feel naked in the face.
Oh yeah. Same.
You feel like that?
Yeah, when they start falling off.
I've been feeling that for the last couple months.
Yeah, I feel a little naked.
Like I can do
so I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and I went out and I had a few people compliment me, and I was like, and almost was like, I was overwhelmed because I just didn't know.
Crying.
But I'm cracking up at you and Jasmine.
That is
not in the bed.
Jack was dead ass in the bed, like.
Zach was
final thoughts of the night.
Do you think he knows?
I'm
like, bro, what is it?
Thinking about this because all night, like we kind of ducked off to an area, and every now and then I see Zach, he would just be like, "Get out the corner, cupcake like that." Literally through a window.
I'm like, Zach, leave them alone. He goes,
Zach is the funniest.
I said, whose big brother do you think you are all of a sudden? Sit down, little boy, and let them talk. Oh, it was.
But the fact that we all marched over from your house.
No,
Zaina was with us.
It was like 5 of us.
It was great. It was fun.
It's like, we're here to support.
Yeah, we were all there for. I liked it. So
when I finally
are you guys still in communication?
Dating someone like for real? Yes, we are.
Don't ignore me. No, don't try to bypass over the question.
It'll be one of those things where it's like.
So you guys
ignored your question.
You guys are still communicating.
Yes, we've.
Oh, okay.
I love that.
All right.
Wow.
All right, Zay, what do you have for us?
It's my turn. Okay, so since there was like a time restriction on WTF stories, I'll give some parting advice for all my creatives out here in the room.
Yes.
I feel like when you are a creative, you put your heart and soul into whatever you're creating. And whether it's like posting it or if you're in a room and you're pitching an idea, if it falls flat or people don't like it, like don't take that rejection as a reflection of your self-worth. Like keep working on it, like keep going. Even if that idea falls flat, it may not be for them. Maybe it's for you to do it on your own. And just like keep going. Like don't let any sort of rejection like make you feel down.
I love that. Travis, really can you clip that one? Thank you.
I like that.
That's my advice.
Spoke to me. I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It like fights through like imposter syndrome. I think it's all of us at some point. So with that, it's like you got to just keep pushing through. Keep going. I love that.
That was really good. Thanks for coming on, Zay.
Yes,
I'm so happy I made it.
We will see you soon.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be back and on the podcast. If you guys, where can we follow you? I mean, I follow you. Where can they follow you?
Where can we find you?
I am at Zay exclusive. Just follow like the cursive.
Just follow her
on everything.
Just follow
I literally ZAY exclusive. I'm exclusive.
Okay.
And Zay's
on Instagram, Snap. Are you on TikTok?
I have like one video on TikTok. That's my goal too. Post more.
Is there YouTube happening?
No, not yet.
Okay. We'll keep you guys posted on that.
Yeah.
Love it.
And you can follow us at the Think Loud Crew on Instagram and on YouTube, and you can find us on any of your podcast platforms. Please continue to give us a good 5 stars and a nice review on the podcast platforms if you guys can. And you can follow me at Shy Not Shy.
You can follow me at R. Kyle Lynn.
And you can follow me at Hair by Shannon C.
Oh, that totally rhymes.
I was the only one who did cursive.
Yeah. And as always,
you're the creative.
Don't forget to tell your crew about our crew.